What up? What up? What up? What up? We
What
back.
up?
Hey,
We back.
what's good?
We back. We back. We black. Now,
Hey,
I know folks like what the fuck happened yesterday, and I ain't gonna lie, man. It's CJ motherfucking fault.
hey, look, man. I knew
He,
that motherfucking game was gonna have folks in a chokehold yesterday, man. You know, it's still folks that's still them boys. And so, you know,
man, look, they already added in the comments. We got we got Ashley Bertoni Finley said, so y'all reschedule Watch Them Thrones to watch the Cowboys lose. Shame. Shame, shame. Nah, CJ was day drinking. He got a problem, y'all.
I
That's all.
did. I ain't gonna lie. I had them mimosas yesterday. I was trying to find the bottom of the bottomless mimosas, man. Unfortunately, I did not find them. But I did send out a few drunk texts afterwards to
So
see how folks was doing.
we got Celeste Williams. She said all the males wanted to watch the game. Ma'am,
Oh man.
ma'am.
Damn, is that the
That's
bus?
that
We just
is
got through under.
you you about as sexist as them men in Westeros with that quip.
Man,
But either
I
way, nigga, we
man,
here, so we gonna
We
make the
made it.
best of it. Right.
nigga, we made it.
We made it.
So
Like,
speaking of made it, you know, we made it to the end of season one. And
Yep.
one thing I realized, man, I missed a whole bunch of shit. Like the
the
first go
first time
round.
around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
I,
Yep.
I
me
mean, and I
too,
know a lot
man.
of it for me, and I don't know about y'all. A lot of it for me was because, I was telling the kids, hey, sit the fuck down. I'm trying to watch something, or get out, you know. But it was a good season, man. I think the last two episodes probably the best two of season one. So that being said, man, let's get into it.
Yeah,
So
man.
Let's do it.
you know we start episode 9 off with dumbass Ned. Um, and it's
Po
fitting
Ned.
that they start with him sitting in the dark, because this nigga was in the dark all goddamn season. Like,
Yeah,
brothers,
like we talk about in the dark, like figuratively. Yeah.
yeah, like he's literally and figuratively. This nigga was in the dark all season, man.
Darkness.
You know, but you saw Varys slide up in there with Ned, and he like, hey, bro, look, that bitch wants you dead. So what you need to do is just go up in there, say you sorry, you know,
Mhm.
pledge fealty, and they gonna spare your life. Cersei thinks you are a man of honor. That's what Varys said to him,
Mm.
and she gonna slide you onto the wall, let you live the rest of your days, you know. And Ned being Ned, let me just say, I hate this nigga, man. I thought I liked Ned,
You don't like Ned, man?
Come on,
bruh,
man. Come on, man.
I
Like I
like
think you a
Ned,
little hard
man.
on that, bro.
bruh.
I think you a
Listen,
little
man,
hard.
he jeopardized everybody in the name of honor. Ain't no
Yeah.
honor in that, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what though? I think Ned serves as a lesson for us, man, in the Game of Thrones. Like in the whole first season, like I would say you don't know what to expect in the whole series until episode 9 is to you learn to not expect shit, and that honor honor won't save you in this shit.
And but you know what though? Even in that scene, right? Varys is trying to talk to him, but then all of a sudden he's like, "Listen here, nigga. Here's what you got to do. Your fucking daughters and children and blah blah blah. And I'm here to protect the rent and certain people. So Varys like lays it out for him because he's like, man, listen, there's bigger shit than yourself that you're trying to like that you need to try to accomplish before you leave this earth. And your daughters are in the Lannisters' hands right now. So shut the fuck up and fuck your honor. Go ahead.
Stop.
What happened?
Nigga, I just noticed your name, Leslie.
Oh my God, nigga.
They turned Ned Stark into an MLK statue.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Oh shit.
Man, my fault, man. Came to me, bro.
We like 8 days before Black History Month. You
That is powerful niggatry at work this
God,
evening.
yeah, that's some nigga shit. I mean, like, honestly, I didn't even try to. It was just something that's just like, you know how my fingers and shit started mind of its own.
I mean, CJ name was already bad enough.
You know, like my fingers are detached from my body, like Ned,
Like Ned
and MLK and Coretta's head too, apparently.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Now that statue could actually be called getting head. Like Ned.
That statue could be called. I mean,
That is
why is that not Ned in Catelyn?
Listen, I'm telling you.
I mean,
man,
like I guess Catelyn would still have a head, but like her whole like her neck will be like, you know, like that, like kind of leaning to the side or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because of the, you know, spoiler alert. Yeah, my fault. I mean, who knows what happened to Cat?
man, I don't know, man. So,
I don't know what happened to Cat.
nigga shit, man.
Oh God.
somebody ate Cat if we talking about that statue. So
So since we talking about Cat, Ned and already, you know, he dumb as fuck, and we know where he's heading. But speaking of Catelyn, right? You know, they mad as Stark's mad as fuck because they got Ned, and you know, Rob ready to ride out on their ass like Willie Manchester. And in order for him to do that with all his men, they need to get that assist from Walder Frey, right?
Right.
So Catelyn, you know, she slide over to the twins to holler at Walder, and you know, to broker a deal for him allowing, you know, Rob and the Northern Banner to slide on through there to go get Ned back and his sisters back and all that other shit. So, you know, they chopping it up, and Ned, like, not Ned, excuse me, Walder basically told her, man, first of all, bitch, fuck y'all, because you and your whole family turned y'all nose up at me like I ain't shit.
and the clique you claim.
Yeah. Like they treated
They are the Greyjoys of the fucking like of that area. I mean, essentially.
The Freys are like the Tito's of the Jackson 5. Nobody just respected what they was doing.
We just flat out wilding tonight, so I say, okay.
The Tito's of the Jackson 5.
I know Tito looking like, what the fuck I do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Get your straight bullets up in this motherfucker.
You know, like, why you say fuck me for?
It's about fuck 50. Fuck 50.
But you know, so she brokered the deal, and let me just say, all the Walder Frey's daughters and sons are ugly as fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
isn't he the one that was having kids with his kids?
Probably.
Nah. Like that was Cranston.
Okay.
Yeah, like your boy north of the wall.
He had a little 15.
Now Frey may have been kind of, you know, double dealing and shit like that. That's what it kind of looked like, because he was. I mean, it looked like he was 15.
I don't know if it was his wife or his, you know,
or his daughter. I've always suspected that like there was some incest going on.
Yeah. The Freys is definitely the kings of the hill in Westeros. Like they definitely.
But you know though, but that scene was funny though, because that scene kind of captured who Walder Frey was, and we were introduced to him as somebody who is to not be trusted, is clearly on some nigga shit. Shit. I mean, by the time that whole scene happened, I was like, you know what? I can kind of relate to this nigga a little bit. Like, I mean, like not relate.
Like y'all don't even fuck with me.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like somebody who you fuck with a little bit. Like, okay, that nigga's just being Walder Frey. You know what I'm saying? Like, he knows who he is. He knows that people look down on him. He don't give a fuck. Fuck all y'all. Why should I give a fuck about what any of y'all are doing or thinking? I don't give a shit. I'm about to slap the cheeks of my fucking young ass wife, which was just ridiculous, right? But you know, it's kind of like the way. I mean, like Walder Frey is the sugar daddy. Is the real sugar daddy, right?
Real sugar daddy is a Westeros, starring Walder Frey.
It's the sugar daddy you want compared to the sugar daddy that wants you. Walder Frey is the sugar daddy that wants your ass, all right?
Listen, though, there was so many gems dropped in that moment, though. Like you said, it's like even when Cat was, when they were trying to decide who gonna go up in Walder Frey, who gonna go to the castle and approach that nigga like, look, nigga, hey, we need to get across this motherfucker, right? Cat like, fuck it, I'll do it. That nigga been knowing me since I was a kid. He ain't gonna fuck with me like that. And one of the guys, I can't remember who it was, said he ain't gonna fuck with you as long as, depending on how much, long as ain't nobody paying him to.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, like, he'll do whatever. Right. Yeah. And I think that's obviously for those of us who watch, we know that that's significant.
Yeah.
But like, how fucking expensive was that revenge? How fucking expensive was getting across that goddamn bridge?
Well, CJ, that whole scene, was a precipice for.
Yeah, goddamn.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean, like it, like
because she promised, Arya hand to one of his dingy sons, and then she betrothed Rob to one of his daughters,
whichever one he wanted.
Rob was like, "Well, how they look?" And she was like, "Shit, I mean,
well, she should have lied. She should have been like, man, them motherfuckers, boy, you would not believe a couple of
she could at least been like, well, they thick than the motherfucker.
Right.
Should have told him we followed out the motherfucking bone in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Man. My goddamn mama. I know my mama lied to me so many goddamn times. That's nothing.
She was like, girl,
mama's be lying to us all the fucking time.
She was like, Robert, one of them just medium ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, exactly. What the fuck?
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was a number line, she would be on the negative side of zero.
What she should have done
closer to zero than negative.
No. What she should have done was like the girls on Black Planet used to do before pictures started becoming available, when they used to say thick in all the right places. The motherfuckers used to say thick in all the right places. And then you believe that shit until you meet up with one of the motherfuckers one day and fucking.
I got a Black Planet story.
Freddie Jackson, motherfucker, you Freddie Jackson, goddamn it. Sorry, I had to get on my little spiel because that shit happened to me in real life.
Nigga, you just triggered me, nigga. I got a Black Planet story after that. Not tonight, not tonight. But I damn sure got it.
Like, you know what they'll say? Save that for story time, CJ.
Exactly. God damn. Why
so
say that for story time?
So she basically told him, she's the least ugly one out of all of them, but they all ugly.
Right.
And so Rob was like, shit, do I have a choice? And she was like, well, not really.
Now you want to get across the motherfucking water.
Yeah, you can see in his eyes, he was like, fuck. But he did it anyway.
Man, that nigga love his daddy, man. That nigga love his
daddy.
daddy.
Man. My daddy would just been shit out of luck, bro.
Right.
The cold part. That's the cold, but that's the cold part.
Yeah.
Like, like, I mean, we'll get to it. Fuck, I don't mean to walk ahead.
We had that scene and the episode jumped over to the wall. Mm-hmm. And we see that Lord Commander gave John, that Valyrian steel blade, and they fitted the head with a wolf and whatnot. And them niggas was hyping him up. They was like, "Go, John, your sword, go, John." He dancing and shit like he the coldest nigga on the wall.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he was kind of that day. I can't even lie, nigga. That's like making the game winning shot fucking at school or some shit. Coming in with the freshest fit. They got the new J's.
Yeah, he showed up with the J's that nobody have.
You showed up with the new pennies, nigga.
The band Jordans.
But like you got all this shit going on, at the wall. Jon get a sword. They, basically telling him, about what they got planned for him. But in the middle of this story, talking to the Maester, we find out that Aemon is the goddamn Targaryen.
Yeah, is the was the uncle to Aerys Targaryen, who was the Mad King, and Aemon was the rightful heir to the throne because it would have been passed to him, but he gave up that title in order to become a member of the Citadel, and that title eventually passed over to Aerys, who was the nephew of Aemon. So that shows you how old that nigga is as far as in the universe. Yeah.
So like, I know they was trying to get rid of all the Targaryens. So did they just not care, or they like fucking this nigga old, he blind?
So he was like a brother's a night's watch, and so he's untouchable. Once he makes those pledges to swear on the black, he is untouchable by the laws of men. So they couldn't do anything for him. But I mean, at the same time, though, he gave up his titles anyway. So I mean, you're a threat, but you're not really. Plus, on top of that, he was old as shit. He was blind by the time all this shit happened, like he pointed out, right? I mean, if he were a young man or a younger man, then he would have been much more of a threat, and they would have probably tried to kill his ass. But he was old,
And the conversation he was having with Jon, essentially, that in which he revealed to Jon, he's like, "Look, I know you're trying to make a decision between honor and love right now." And what's honor compared to love, to a woman's touch, to, your son and all that shit. He was like, I ain't gonna tell you what to do, but you're gonna have to make a decision on what to do.
And live.
Right? And
John, like, this is like, damn that honor. I'm trying to get to them yams.
that nigga was trying to go save the day. Like, he was like, shit, I guess I'm gonna go, fight with my brother and my daddy and shit. Little did he know.
I mean, but though, this is something that was kind of short-sighted on Jon. Like, literally, this nigga just killed a dead man, or re-killed a dead man. So, I mean, I get it, but nigga, priorities. Like, bruh, if I have to re-kill a dead man, then all right, well, maybe I need to change my fucking position about what is most important here in the seventh. Well, like just in my world, right? And so, even though his frustration is valid to a certain degree, but fuck that shit. Fuck that, bro. I mean, unless he's trying to get away from the dead people, which I don't blame him about that shit either. But that wasn't the case. That would have been me. I would have been like, oh, no, man, you know what? I can't do this shit. I got to go south, bro.
Yeah.
No, I think he thought that was the honorable thing to do, to fight for his family. I think he had, even though he really, I almost messed up there. Even though we know some of the things that, we think about Jon may not necessarily be true. He's been raised and conditioned. And so I think he's got that unwavering honor like Ned, and thinks he needs to go save his father. Yeah. And he doesn't weighing that against the Night's Watch is not as important to him until his boys come and say, listen, you're not thinking straight. But
right. Cause these motherfucking things come and put all our asses in a freezer. You know what I mean? To eat off of us when they feel like it.
Okay.
Well, so, I know one thing. If I was him, I damn sure wouldn't have been trying to go get Sansa ass. Like, she reminded him he was a bastard every time.
That goddamn Sansa.
That damn Sansa.
Now, if you don't like a Stark, that's the motherfucker to pick, man. I can totally understand you disliking the fuck out of Sansa right now, bro.
Honestly, the only one I really fuck with is Arya. Like, every time
Arya's
my Thrones, bro.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
I find myself not liking Rob. I find myself not liking Cat. Like, I find myself not liking none of the motherfuckers.
I liked Rob, man. I did not.
I don't fuck with Rob like that,
Too
man.
much.
I don't fuck with Rob
I
like
like
that.
Rob a lot, man. I thought that nigga was. Never mind. I almost. My bad. My fault.
Yo, tisses.
I meant that nigga is.
Watch your tenses, nigga.
Ooh, shit. Man.
You almost got me.
I'll tell you what I do though. I do fuck with Rob because even though, in the book he young, him and John young.
Yeah, they're young, super young.
But even as a young dude, he was pretty smart, man. Like, the move that he made to send them 2,000 men to basically they death, just so they could backdoor them niggas. He showed he was wise beyond his years, and he got one up on Jamie Lannister, and we see that by how he was easily able to take him as a prisoner. Now they budget wasn't that good, so they ain't show no fighting and nothing. They just
that shit stood out so much, man. Like they literally skipped 2 battles.
Yeah,
they just
like one battle they skipped because we were in Tyrion's POV, so he got knocked out on some fucking on some helmet to helmet shit, like fucking NFL protocol, and they got an NFL protocol on the concussion list, and then fucking Rob, they just showed that nigga just bringing out Jamie, just like on some. Oh, here you go. Right here. There you go. Yeah, he killed 10 of our men, which we didn't fucking see, but there you go. You know what I'm saying? Like,
have y'all ever seen Lucky Number 11?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's a great movie, by the way. Hit that motherfucker with the Kansas City Shuffle.
Yeah,
is what they did to
Kansas City Shuffle. That's what they did to the audience. Because when you first watch it, you don't really notice that shit. You're like, oh, okay, that's what's up. But then, like, nigga, once you see the Battle of Blackwater and shit, you like, wait a minute, where was the first season battle?
Right.
Like, bro, where was y'all budget? Where was y'all mass? Shit.
So in the meantime, I guess I almost want to talk about the battle in sequence and then go over to where Khaleesi and them is, but I also want to go in the fucking order that the show is going in. So
okay, but because the battle in sequence is, like it's a lot, because what leads up to that is the conversation with Tyrion and Sansa, and Bronn. So I don't know if you want to just head over to Essos real quick.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we can head over there. And
we can Uber over there. Go ahead.
And so Drogo is doing dog bad, man. That nigga is not doing good at all. As they are riding their horses to wherever the fuck they going, that nigga falls off his horse, and that's significant because they say with a cow without his that cannot ride upon his horse is no cow. And so, shit is getting bad for Drogo, but it's also getting bad for Dany at the same time. And, she tries to get them to set up camp there. And I essentially that's like significant. Why?
Well, shit, like because of the fact that Drogo is the leader of the Dothraki, and the Dothraki, the leader it's about strength, right? And it's about it's just ultimate masculinity. And so when you are weak, when you cannot even ride on a horse, and when you're essentially a zombie, that shit just automatically like December, and all of a sudden they get to another leader, right? And so when that happens, and now Dany and her little small crew of bandits, they're shit out of luck because the Dothraki are ready to move on. They're ready to keep riding, or at least 99% of them. And and so when you're setting up camp and you're and Drogo is fucking ultimately a vegetable at this point, like there's nothing else for them to do. And so it's almost like the change of the leadership, the change of guard. It's almost like the change of a dictatorship. The old regime is going to die out. Either she would probably get killed, raped and killed, or or just set aside because she has Drogo's baby's belly. Baby in her belly, and so she's no good because that's his kid, and he can't do shit.
Like George tried to school her. He was like, listen here, Khaleesi. When our boy
wait, how you doing?
Listen here.
Listen here, Khaleesi.
Lonnie Craig Jr.
Boy kicked the bucket. They about to act a fool around here, and I don't think you want to be here for that because it's not gonna be good for you and your boy. And she, like everybody else in leadership, got her head in the clouds and was like, "No, we're not leaving. I'm gonna stay here with them." And he a doggone vegetable girl. He don't even know you there.
Right.
Nah, he hit the vegetative state to season.
He's damn near.
That
nigga's in hospice. Maybe the first part of hospice, right. Like maybe month 1 of 6. But that
nigga is leaning on the everlasting horse. Goddamn.
Yo, CJ. Who was Ronnie Craig Jr., man? Who was that,
that's
bro?
my producer, man.
That's a black ass. That's a black ass name right there, boy.
That's my producer, man. He make music, man.
Shout out to Ronnie Craig Jr. God damn, that's a black ass name. I love it. Anyway,
this nigga got 2 of the blackest names. Like his name is like Captain Planet.
He finna make
black ass names combined. I am Captain Nigga.
Nigga about to make a guest appearance on the motherfucking show today.
Right,
nigga. I heard you on Watching Them Thrones, nigga.
but so yeah, he, like you said, he in pretty bad shape. But she hollered at I think it's episode 9. She hollered at what's the witch name?
I don't know her name.
Mirri Maz Duur.
Mirri Maz Duur. Maz Duur.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
She of the dark arts and black magic.
Yeah.
She hollered at her, trying to see if she can help him, and we see how that turned out in episode 10. We'll get into that, but
right.
He still had a little fight left in him, man.
It wasn't no fight.
Damn.
That nigga fighting for his goddamn life. That's about it, my nigga. That nigga. She said that nigga had worms. That nigga had
a fight.
Yeah, like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? They said it was motherfucking. His chances were slim and none, and Slim had just left the motherfucking party. So that's how that shit was going. Back to the motherfucking Starks.
But that like that, I don't know if the episode was just short, but it seemed like it kind of went by
fast.
Real fast, man. It wasn't a whole lot going on, but
it was a lot going on, but it wasn't really because it was just more narrative than actual
right.
Yeah. Because we hit on back to the Starks where Rob captured Jamie, and that shit, like I said, was just what was it, like a 2-minute clip of him basically, pulling up with Jamie Lannister.
Yeah.
Theon saying that he cut down 10 of their men. Robb Stark making this impassionate plea that they still have the sisters and the father, and that they are and that 2,000 men lost their lives in order for this battle strategy to take place.
We walked ahead a little bit. From the standpoint of, you remember when Tywin assigned Tyrion to the Vanguard?
Mm-hmm.
And Tyrion.
Wait, okay, all right. Well, yeah, okay, but that's the Lannister shit. All right, that's the Lannister camp. Yeah.
I jumped to the Starks. My bad.
Okay, all right. Okay, so
that was going on at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Gotcha. So then at the Lannister camp, So Tyrion was like, "All right, my nigga, here's what we're gonna do, man. I got a special assignment for you, big man. I got a special assignment for you, my son. You go get on this front line with fucking Barbara, Shaba, and all the rest of the motherfuckers."
This nigga Nigga saying Shaba. Oh shit.
Shaba.
Where the fuck that nigga was? Wait, what did he shop? It was something. What was his name?
Shaka or some shit.
Shaka,
like,
yeah,
Shaka. Like, close enough, my nigga. Shaka,
Shaba, one of the motherfuckers.
Shaka Khan or some shit, nigga. I don't remember. It was some shit.
And Tyrion called him out his bullshit. He was like, don't you have more creative ways to kill me, goddamn? Like,
right.
Like, you gonna send me out to the front lines, to the vanguard?
Right.
And so then Tyrion, obviously, he thinks to himself, well, fuck, I'm a goddamn dead man walking. He has no combat experience. He's a dwarf. And and so shit, he's like, I'm dead. It's time for me to turn up on my last night. So then we get introduced to fucking Shay.
It's Shay.
Shay and that Shay, man. Shay and that fucking accent. Oh my god. Oh,
it's almost kind of funny. Like,
let me ask you this before you start talking about it. Who accent was worse, hers or
the fucking girl from House of Dragon?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, Shay is the original, bro. It's almost like a fucking, like you can't beat the fucking original. It's almost like a goddamn, the first time, like you. I was about to say something. Let me shut the fuck up. Anyway,
hey, nigga, shit.
You just, man. Like it's Shay, bro. It's Shay. She's the worst because she talks more. I think that's the reason why she's worse.
What
because she has more speaking lines.
Grandma.
I don't know who this actress like got with to be on this show. Kudos to her, goddamn it. I don't know. This was a Harvey Weinstein negotiation. But
no.
I ain't gonna lie. Oh shit. God damn, nigga. I think I got a delay on this motherfucker. That shit caught me late. Like, oh, goddamn.
My fault, man. My fault.
Goddamn.
Like,
just like Leslie.
Yo, that's right. Let's like, come on now. Yo, where's that? Yo, she is horrible, man. She is horrible. And you know what, though? To her credit, she might be a really good actress, but the shit that she was given, the dialogue is just absolutely fucking horrible.
Look, I thought it was fun. I started laughing when he asked her where that accent was from because I started thinking about you all the time, going in on her accent, and she like, nigga, I'm foreign. Like,
okay,
I'm from foreign, goddamn. Like, what?
It's like no, bitch. What you are is fucking. You trying to impersonate a bad French accent, and that shit is ridiculous. That's what the fuck you are.
Let me just say, the people in the comments, you got Brittany Williams. She said the white worm chick was the worst. You got Patrice Danielle. She said old girl on House of the Dragon was way worse. Like,
I don't care.
You in the minority, dog. Ashley Tony Finley, House of the Dragon.
This ain't the fucking first time I'll be in the minority. I don't care. Fucking Shay ass talks more. Therefore, she is worse. Okay. It's like, goddamn. It's like, okay, yeah. Like, this shit is hotter, but this motherfucker's burning me. Oh my God. It's like grits versus a fire, right? Like, the fire you put out right there. That was super hot. The grits stick to you. All right. Al Green knows this. The grits fucking stick to you, god damn it. Shay's accent sticks to me.
Unless you Tyler Perry.
Niggas
that have seen Atlanta will understand that.
We just
I thought I had it with the Al Green reference. You just fucking took it and
no, the Al Green shit was hilarious. Actually, I was really hoping for the Al Green shit.
Hey man, like that's what we do, bro. Anyway, so I don't know
what happens. I think he told Shay to fuck him like it was the last time he was gonna be on Earth, and I'm trying to see what that be like. To be quite honest with you, like,
hey man, like here's what you need to do, CJ. You need to go to your local sex worker and pay her enough where you can fucking demand that shit. It looks like you got some money, nigga. You were eating fucking fried chicken. You were eating the goat box in the drop top.
Hey man,
no, you got bread.
Hey, look, man, told me to go solicit.
If you want to feel like it's your last day on Earth, just gonna spend that $40 and fucking raw.
The
You gonna be
The
$40? Real talk.
Celeste said she trying to see what that shit be like too.
Me too.
If I might die tomorrow, I would like for you know what I mean, like I would just like to know what they're gonna be like. You know what I'm saying? I like to, you know, go out there.
I don't know how we got here.
It's a part of the story. I'm just saying I want to go out on it with an empty tank. I don't want nothing left in my shit.
Well, you know, who are me to say this, but
not who are me.
See, who am I? See, y'all got me all fucked up. CJ say he want to find out. Celeste in the comments say she want to find out. Shit, seems like to me, y'all got something to do.
Hey, okay,
we gonna get canceled.
Where are we going?
Like, what are we doing? We just do a tender match.
Niggas is what?
Listen, I'm just trying to betroth this nigga to that nigga. That's it. That's all.
This nigga just Catelyn stalked me, man. Oh. But not to Celeste. Like Celeste is not afraid. She's definitely not afraid. So
I was gonna say, damn, did you just say she was?
No, she a Lannister, bro. She a Lannister, Tyrell.
Well, but not like the Lannisters that be smashing each other. But like Lannister,
it's getting worse. It just keeps getting worse.
All right, well, I don't know.
Rolling in the motherfucking deep right now. Ring us in, dog. Jorah telling Khaleesi and shit. Jorah, we had Jorah, my nigga. Jorah told Khaleesi that Khal Drogo would die. Shit.
Now we got let's just stay here. We got Celeste in the comments said, who said anything about a fucking betrothal? Now, if you take betrothal off your comment, who said anything about fucking?
Hey, listen. Fuck it. We off the rails now. Like let's hey nigga, lean with it, rock with it, goddamn it. Just
watch them thrones.
Celestial like, oh my god. These niggas.
All right, let's get back to the lecture.
Where were we?
The lecture.
We
gotta go back to King's Landing, don't we?
I think we was at Jorah Mormont. Because she was talking about
wait a second. Did we even talk about wait, hold on. So wait a second. Before we leave the Lannister, before we leave from the Lannister clan,
okay.
Did we talk about what Tywin did to Tyrion? As far as
just look, we grazed on that motherfucker. Go ahead and jump in.
Yeah. All right. So in this scene, we find out that Tyrion was married once before. Bronn sort of implied it when he said that he was shooting dice, nigga shit, with Lannister men, and so Tyrion told the story essentially of a setup of his of the father to teach him a lesson, and so he set him up with a woman who was just about to get raped. Tyrion, saved her, and then within a fortnight, well, I guess during this fortnight, they were married, fucking. He fell in love, found out that it was all a ruse, that it was all a fake, that she was a prostitute, and that Tywin made Tyrion watch her get smashed by Lannister men for what? What did he say? He said like it was so many coins that the shit started spilling over, right? Ooh. So I mean, and then Bronn was like, I'd kill the man who did that to me. So that shows you the type of relationship that Tyrion and Tywin have, which is something that is very unbecoming, in my opinion, to Tywin, considering about like how much I appreciate Tywin as a character. Jorah friends on always, right? Always. As much as I appreciate Tywin as a calendar, as a character, him and Tyrion have this very fucking toxic relationship that that even though it's been explained in future episodes, I still fail to understand, considering how logical Tywin is with everything else around him, right? But when it comes to Tyrion, he's just like, that's his number one blind spot.
Man, and I mean, again, foreshadowing or fuck, I can't jump ahead.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
all I'm gonna say is I fucking understood a lot better when once we watched this again and I heard that story again.
Yeah,
I understood shit down the road.
Mm-hmm.
If you caught that, you with me.
Of course.
I understood shit down the road a lot better.
Yep.
When it went down. So yeah.
So look, we kind of got off the rail with the Game of Thrones dating game. And we got to go back to King's Landing, man, because we got to talk about the biggest shit of the whole episode, which is, they finally got Ari was working a plan or whatever it was she was doing, and the other kids like, hey, they taking they taking the hand of the king, to Scepter Baelor, and like everybody knew what that shit meant,
Ari was on her nigga shit. She pulled one of them chickens. She wanted the pictures out the boy. She was about to eat some chicken in that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, she was out there flipping.
Like she broke the little nigga neck and everything. So I mean, that shows you how hungry she was and how much she was wandering around King's Landing. For that long.
She definitely should have been in Flea Bottom where she was carrying on. But we get to the scene, and then where you got Ned out there, and he confesses his treason. He declares that Joffrey is the one true king, and Joffrey pulls some whole shit, man. Let's talk about that. Go ahead, CJ.
Bro, it's some whole shit when Cersei disagrees with it. Like, so, obviously the bargain was that he would take mercy on Ned if Ned confessed that Joffrey was the true king and, acknowledged him and witnessed him and such. Joffrey then double crosses by saying, I can show no mercy upon someone with treason, and women are soft. So she would have me have mercy. But, I guess it was his show of force that anybody who commits treason upon the throne from this point forward, this is the, this is what would result with them. And, he commences to, have Ned beheaded. Arya's there. Sansa is standing there, passing the fuck out and shit. And, Ned, before he got taken up there, whispered something to his boy, because Varys had earlier told him, it's still some niggas with you. It's still some, like, people still like you. So you still got some people out there. And Ned saw one of his boys as he was getting taken up to the altar.
Fine Arya.
He saw Yoren and he said Baelor, which let him, that's what
let him know exactly where Arya was.
Yeah.
Right. At the actual statue.
Yeah.
And so he prevented Arya from actually witnessing the moment when her father was beheaded. And so that was a moment. I know we skipped some shit, but obviously this is the moment. Go ahead.
No. Like, so I was about to say, man, like, one of the jarring things about this scene was everybody else's reaction, right? Like this was some beautiful, especially by Sansa, by Sophia Turner.
Yeah,
she really did hit home, like how fucking devastating this was, right? And how, like, you can tell in her face when Joffrey starts to even make the speech. He's just like, yeah, like Joffrey starts to feel a little bit. The fucking is a cow. Yo, god damn. Why?
What happened? Why
would she say Joffrey is a Cowboys fan? What kind of shit is that?
That shit hurt it, huh? That shit hurt it.
That shit hurt it, nigga.
You hurted me.
That shit
You
hurt.
stabbed me in my back. Listen, I ain't gonna. Hey, man.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, like go ahead, Celeste. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say for one, there's 2 points I want to make here. Number one, we already know Joffrey is a prick, but now this particular scene gets to show us who he's gonna be with power, and that he is very evil and vindictive. And I was gonna say my heart broke for Arya because not only because of Ned getting beheaded, but you can see how it kills her when the crowd turns on her dad, when she knows her father has not done anything wrong and that her father is honorable, but the crowd don't care. You know what I'm saying? There's a head to be had and they want it head, they want the head chopped off because we've all seen how mobs behave. Right. And so she sees the crowd turn on her dad and she's looking around like, what the, like y'all just loved him 10 minutes ago. So that was
you know what though, but this leads me to a question that I want y'all to answer truthfully. Was Joffrey right? Was Joffrey right? Was Joffrey right in taking Ned's head? Was he ultimately right in this decision?
Well, I mean, from the standpoint of, I understood why it was done, for sure.
No. I mean, like just from a strategy viewpoint, right? Like Ned is the person who outed the secret about him not being the rightful heir. So even though Ned would say, oh, I'm never going to speak on this, I committed treason. How does he really know that? Ned will say that I took the black, but how does he know these things to be true, especially if Robb still decides to march on the South, or if the North just declares himself an independent state? And so why wouldn't Robb say through some fucking power of the old gods or through some sort of shit that they make up, some sort of laws they make up, that Ned in fact wasn't treasonous and therefore if he should vacate his position at the Black and then Ned take his rightful place in Winterfell? The
thing is, did Joffrey know that he wasn't Robert?
That's what I was gonna say.
You said what now?
He didn't know yet. Joffrey didn't know the truth yet. He thinks he is the rightful heir.
Right? I don't know. No, like, well, and so the rumors were around. I mean, like he heard about the rumors, but okay. But I mean, like he didn't know until he didn't even know, period, that he always thought that Robert Baratheon was his father. But even still, though, right? Like so from that position, you're still trying to be in a position of power. You're still trying to be in a position where, all right, well, as a newly minted king, do I want to start myself off in a position of weakness or in a position of strength, especially as a boy king? Also, they ended up winning the fucking War of the Five Kings. Like, I mean, like they ended up winning. Like, of course, no credit to really Joffrey. This was all fucking Tywin's doing, right, for the most part. But he essentially won the war. I mean, in a sense, right? Yeah. Or at least the Lannisters did, at least that original war. Like, so as much shit as we give Joffrey, I think Joffrey was right.
I mean, I think from a strategic standpoint, yes, it was what he had to do or whatever. Because a lot of people probably would have, I don't know, because I don't know that a lot of people would have tested the Lannisters. With him at the helm, just because of Tywin being his being his grandfather. Yeah. But still,
now, like if there could have been some sort of if everything would have went back to normal, right? The North would be like, all right, you know what? Nope, yeah, like we're back in the Seven Kingdoms, we're back in the fold, cool, whatever. No, that didn't happen. I mean, like, right? You don't know what Robb would have done in the reaction because there was still bad blood, including the fact that the Starks still think for sure that one of the Lannisters pushed Bran off the fucking out of the tower. So I mean, like this shit is like an ongoing thing where the Lannisters keep doing shit to push it, and so eventually Robb and them are not going to take anything short of either victory or independence.
So I guess the way I look at it is kind of like he from a strategic standpoint, I understand why he wanted to show force, and I when I watched it, I understood why he showed force, because he wanted to set the example for anybody else that might even be considering the thought of it.
Right.
From the standpoint of maybe him being knowledgeable or thwarting the threat of the start of being outed, essentially, I don't think that, you know what I mean, like, I don't know
That
that.
shit didn't cross that nigga mind, man.
Yeah, like, I don't think he was being that for.
I don't think.
Yeah, but I mean, it didn't cross his mind. But see, this is okay. It didn't cross his mind, but it was definitely something that was talked about, because Varys is the one who said it to Ned at the beginning of the episode. He's
Yep.
like, you need to renounce this whole rumor about fucking Joffrey being a child of incest, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, of course it didn't cross his mind. Nigga's dumb. Joffrey is fucking stupid. So none of this shit crossed his mind. But what I'm saying is that, was he ultimately right in this decision?
Well,
because
let me
Ned
say
is a
this, man.
threat alive, whether he's taking the black or not. Ned is a fucking existential threat if you let him just walk the black, because especially in the black, because the black is fucking more loyal to the Starks than
in the same way that Tywin asked Jamie, why is Ned still alive?
Exactly.
In that regard, I would say yes, he did the right thing from that standpoint. I don't think he did the right thing because he was thinking about doing the right thing. No,
No,
I
of
think it
course
was
not.
more so
Yeah,
just he had a bloodlust in the same way that he did with
And he
the
was
big
hype about
boy.
the crowd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it wasn't strategy at all, man. That little sadistic nigga was just
Yeah.
mean. Joffrey Dahmer was mean as fuck, and that's why he did it. The nigga had a bloodlust, and he just crazy as fuck, man.
Yeah.
Tyrus,
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Tyrus, what you just call that nigga, dog?
That nigga name is Joffrey Dahmer.
Also,
Think about the shit that we know, you know.
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. No, like Joffrey is a sadistic motherfucker. He is, yeah. Like no, like he was definitely killing fucking rats and rodents and cats and shit like that.
And even the butcher's boy. I mean, like, he had him killed. So
Hawked him down.
yeah.
Walked
So
his ass down.
So I definitely understand where you're coming from, and like from like a strategical standpoint, I would agree. Like, as a show of force, he did what.
I mean, like, ultimately he was right? Because ultimately, you know, we'll get into it obviously because those are future episodes, but ultimately he was right. What ended up killing? Well, okay, all right, well, never mind.
Yeah, it's hard to do that.
Killed nobody.
Yeah, somebody died in some episodes of Game of Thrones.
Nobody was
That's what
killed.
he's saying.
After Ned was fucking killed. No, that's it.
So, you know, this we talking about, you know, Joffrey Dahmer and him killing Ned, and Ned's death kind of leads us into episode 10.
We skipped a couple of things from episode 9, I think, but shit, we Gucci.
Which is what?
I think. Oh, we skipped the fucking curse or the seance or whatever you want to call that shit. I don't know. The blood spell.
You mean with Dany?
Yeah, which is pretty significant.
Right? Yeah, like the blood magic. So essentially, it was like the witch. I was about to say witch bitch.
The sorceress.
The witch bitch. She Mirri Maz Duur. She said, let's trade a life for a life. And so, you know, Daenerys thought that meant the fucking horse, and it ended up being her baby's life for the vegetative life of Khal Drogo. And so,
but that's more episode 10 though, because that
was episode 10. Okay, well, shit, CJ fucking, I don't know.
No, y'all, the blood magic happened in episode 9.
Right, but the actual repercussions of it didn't happen to 10 because Dany episode 10,
right?
Okay, all right, okay. Right, so Dany hasn't lost the baby yet. Dany hasn't lost the baby.
She don't know she has. Right. Like, so what's going on now is essentially she is bargaining with she like, look, if it's anything that can be fucking done to save Drogo, like, you know, because she looking at him and he fucked up. Like we said earlier, like that nigga
he's
is,
you
know, yeah, that nigga's gone. But she like, if there's anything can be done, and you know, a lot of the Dothraki is like, hell no, that's fucking you about to do that bullshit. And she like, fuck it, do whatever need to be done. And obviously the sorceress is like, you sure about this? Cause you know it's gonna require a life for me to do it. Bring the horse up in here. She slits the horse throat over Drogo, blood everywhere. She said, now can't nobody be in this motherfucker when I get to singing. So Khaleesi and everybody leaves the building when she gets to sinking. You can hear demonic sounds and everything coming out the building as she's doing what she's doing. And one of the Dothraki, the one that wanted to be called, you know what I mean, essentially, was like, man, fuck your ass, you know, and he hit her. I guess he hit her in the stomach. Right, he pushed her down, and Jorah was like, "Nah, fuck that. You ain't finna be pushing my girl. I mean, Khaleesi like that. You know what I'm saying?" And Jorah squared up with that nigga, and you know, he handled his business with his armor on.
Yeah,
and he slit the dude's throat. But at that point, Khaleesi was now she went into labor. I don't know if it's prematurely or what, but she had to go back in the tent even as the blood spell or magic was taking place, even though she wasn't supposed to be in there while it was taking place. So I just wanted to set that up, and that's how that motherfucker end. Well, it end with Ned.
No, it end with goddamn Ned Stark. You know, it end with that nigga head being fucking rolled to the. It end with that nigga saying
right.
So that nigga saying his last words.
Right.
That's how that shit ended.
So that part is the last part that we needed to tell about that. And now we can go to episode 10.
Right. So you got the death of Ned at the end of episode 9, and his death is kind of, you know, the beginning of episode 10. Because basically you got Bran having a vision or premonition or whatever, and he gets he catch a ride down to the family crib with what's her name? Osha.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he get her to take him down there. She's scared as fuck because she's already seen dead niggas on, you know, in the wilderness. She ain't trying to go see what other dead niggas at. So she was already shook. But so he gets down there with her because he had that premonition, and then he bumps into Judy from Family Matters, Rickon.
Yeah, there you go, Rickon.
And his direwolf, and like he had the same. Remember, he said he saw Father in the crypts as well.
Can I ask you something real quick about that? How did y'all feel about that? Because that's the first time I ever heard the notion of Rickon having visions.
Rickon has slight green seeing abilities as well. Not to the point of Bran, but he does. Him and I believe Rob has some green seeing abilities too. That's the reason why he can temporarily get into his direwolf. Yeah, so
they alluded to it earlier that he has that ability. Remember when?
Yeah, did they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember when Bran when Rob leaves and Bran said he'll be back, and he said no, he won't.
Yes, that's right. You're right. He did say that.
Yeah, Rickon did say that. Yeah, so at least 3 of them have some sort of you know, like natural ability. Now obviously Bran is the Don Dada of this, but you know, Rickon definitely has some green seeing abilities. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Even though we don't, I mean, I don't blame you for not knowing because the nigga ain't dead. So
I did not know that shit. I mean, like until
nigga ain't dead.
When we talk about missing shit the first time around, like I didn't even see Rickon as the first time. I didn't know Rickon existed. But like if you what do you call that shit when you watch if you binge Game of Thrones, like say if you binge the first 2 or 3 seasons, nigga, you will forget Rickon exists.
Oh,
like you will forget that nigga ever existed until the Battle of the Bastards.
Easy. You know what? Yeah, like so he was with them for a little bit when they were obviously traveling and when they escaped, whatever, right? When they left, whatever. I keep fucking
yeah, man. That shit.
They left wherever. he had some more scenes, but other than that, bro, like you ain't see his ass until until Battle of the Bastards. You're right.
Yeah, it was So
exactly.
Anyway,
and so Rickon was also with Bran is that like they had this sort of perfect dream, and that Ned was in the crypts because he was obviously dead. So because that's where they keep all the Stark dead bodies.
Yeah.
So that was a premonition of Ned getting his muffin cap back, peeled black boot.
That nigga was at the crossroads. Like Uncle Cha, y'all. Uncle Cha, y'all.
Oh god damn.
We sorry, y'all. No,
So
it was too easy.
So man, this episode, bro, like we really saw how the evilness of Joffrey Dahmer really start to blossom, dog. Because you had the singer who was singing the song about Cersei and Bobby B and whatnot.
Again, this is another example of the incest. Yeah.
He's singing in the clubs and shit. He on the chitlin circuit, just trying to get a little change.
Sure.
And word came back to Joffrey like, this nigga said this and this about your mama, your daddy, all this and that. And he brought old boy to the throne room and had him sing the song. And it had that Five Hearts beat feel to me, like
Big Red.
No. When the police had him on the side of the road.
Oh shit! I got nothing but love for you, baby.
Yeah, and they was like, "Oh, you sang," and the cop was like, "Well, why don't you sing something?"
Damn.
And old boys, sung his song, and Joffrey was like,
"Baby."
Joffrey was like, "What do you prefer? What do you favor more, your fingers or your tongue?" And I was like, "Man, that's
okay."
Some
and
shit.
Again, I ask, was Joffrey right?
What?
Thank you for coming in. I've been posing this question, and niggas are really getting like kind of stumped about it. Joffrey was right on some shit, and y'all motherfuckers are going to have to come to terms with that shit.
Listen. When he did that shit, when he was getting ready to do that shit, even Cersei looked at that little nigga like, "What the fuck have I done?" She was looking at that nigga like,
was Joffrey right in taking that nigga tongue?
So, old boy's tongue? Yeah, hell yeah, of course.
Yeah, he was right. Yeah, you're supposed to.
That was
nip shit in the bud when you the fucking new king. Like,
Yeah,
I don't understand. Like, this ain't no motherfucking after school special.
He really should have took his hands and his tongue. He should have posed that question to him and still took both of them. Like, you can give me your hands and your tongue. Took all that shit. But yeah, I commented earlier because I was watching on my way home from work when you posed the original question about Ned, which I understand the premise. Like, in the grand scheme of things, like removing Ned from the chessboard altogether, is that a good move? Yeah, fuck yeah, absolutely. Like, just eliminating that piece from the board, yes. But in the scope of like what was going on in that time span, like with Jamie being caught and Ned being the only leverage to get him back, that was my only quarrel, other than the fact that Joffrey was a bitch ass nigga for doing that shit. The fact that like he took away any leverage of trying to get Jamie back.
Yeah.
And that was Tywin's big thing. Tywin was like, nigga, my son out here, nigga, what's happening? So
they have my son. Yeah, right.
That nigga, they have my son. But yeah, I feel you on that shit though. I see what you mean. And from a strategic standpoint, getting that nigga off the board altogether, like, yeah, fuck it. We don't need this nigga around.
There you go. And ladies and gentlemen, Baelor the light skinned dread.
He's in the building. In the building. Welcome, my nigga.
Done came in here late on some nigga shit.
Man, there's some nigga shit tonight, bro.
Bro, this has been an episode for the books right here, my nigga.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that first hour and see how much y'all been cutting up.
A whole lot.
Oh, but you gonna see.
Oh shit.
So, where are we?
Go ahead.
after he cut out the dude's tongue and shit like that.
Hey, that song was funny as shit.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
It was.
The bars be doing
The
their
song
thing.
was a fucking classic.
Call that nigga El DeBar. You know what I'm saying? Like that nigga was, brother night type shit.
Hey, but it say the lion ripped his balls off and the boy did all the rest.
Right.
Cersei Ben had them balls.
Bro, the audacity to sing that motherfucker around Kane's Landing, bro.
Man,
you
was on some bullshit, dog. Like you was really smelling that song when you performed that shit. Like, hey, I'm gonna fuck him up with this one.
I got one for y'all.
So at the same time all this is going on, it's like, in Bad Boys 2 when Mike Lowry and Marcus find out that Gabrielle Union has been captured. And so the Starks are all receiving ravens at the same goddamn time, and everybody, slow motion looking up.
Nigga, why you talking like Barry White?
I don't know, man. I'm still trying to see what that shit with Shay was talking about in the last episode. I gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta let him have, that version. So them niggas, everybody was finding out
the secret guard Barry.
My bad, man. You know how Michael Jackson used to forget his real voice sometime, and he used that motherfucker, and then had to switch it back to Michael. You had to switch it back to Michael. So, my bad, man. But this nigga Rob is chopping a tree with his sword because he's upset. And
trying to, because the goddamn tree wasn't going nowhere.
Right. Cat ran in the woods, and they were letting Jon Snow at the wall. Goddamn. So everybody,
I'm glad I wasn't on that goddamn scene. I was like, I've been eating some grapes. Niggas die every day, B. Niggas die every motherfucking day.
Cold ass world, dog.
I'm chopping that fucking tree like a dumbass. You ruining the goddamn
steel.
Goddamn it, what the fuck are you doing? Tree ain't going nowhere.
Like you feel better now?
Right. The fuck? CJ
better
Oh Lord Jesus.
Y'all niggas are stupid.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's what it was, though. Like, and
they vowed vengeance.
Things were sad. Yeah.
And him and Catelyn were hugging it out. Whatever.
It was a moment. It was a moment.
Right.
It was fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it might have been right after that moment. They slide back over to King's Landing, and you see Joffrey walking with Sansa and King's Guard or whatever. And again, man, this is why I tell you, this is the most evil nigga I've ever seen on TV, I believe. Like, he walking with her, and basically he just killed her daddy, and he's having a conversation about she almost getting close to her period happening. He ready to fuck. And he goes from that conversation to taking her to see her daddy's head on the spike.
Ain't that some cold shit, bro? That's a nasty motherfucker, dog. And I don't mean nasty like nasty wanting to fuck. I'm talking about nasty evil. Like,
we are aware, CJ.
CJ, I don't think you had to spell that out for us.
I'm just making sure. We've been talking about fucking a lot, so I just wanted to make sure it was clear that this was not one of the instances where I was actually referring to fucking, but in one in which this nigga was taking pleasure, and he done already made her look at him chop the motherfucker head off, and now he like, look at your daddy dead head. You know what I mean? Like, you see that? Do you see it?
Fact.
And then the thing that was crazy about it was, I guess she didn't react in the way he thought she should have.
Hell no, she did. She told that boy immediately, maybe my brother give me your head, nigga.
Right.
Not even then, not yet. It was when he made her look at it, and she said, well, how long I gotta look at it?
Facts.
Right.
And he was like ticked off. I guess he wanted her to just fall all out. And
of course.
And she, we don't like Sansa, but I think she grew up a little bit in that moment.
She definitely showed a little something. She
showed a little something in that moment because she was like, "All right, then, let me steal myself. Let me get myself together. Okay, nigga, how long I gotta look at this?"
Right.
And he was like, "The fuck? Like, you supposed to be offended." And so then he pushes further, and then that's when she strikes back and was like, maybe he gonna give me your head. Like, what's up?
Bro, he told her, like, you know, that's your daddy head. And guess what, bitch? Up next is your brother's head.
Facts.
And then that's when she was like, you know, maybe he'll bring me yours. And my boy jumped at him and he was like, well, mother told me I shouldn't hit, you know, my lady. And he looked at his boy like, hey,
smack that bitch up.
Hey, bro, that was
cancel that bitch.
And then your boy the game, the hound, gonna have the handkerchief and say, here you go, keep that.
You gonna need it.
You gonna need that motherfucker
again.
You better watch your word, bitch.
But he knew what she was up to because she was about to push his little ass over there.
She
looked and was like, that's a nice little fall right there.
Which is also interesting, there's some interesting symmetry there. For much later.
Y'all ain't gonna lie though, bro. Nigga, I saw Ned's head up there on the fucking spike when Joffrey was showing her, and I still ain't believe that nigga was dead. I was like, man, they got Ned in the back in the dungeon somewhere. Nigga, that's a wax head, nigga. That ain't, bro. It took me I don't know. I might have been in season 2 before I accepted that shit.
Ned was really dead.
The first time I watched this shit, I probably was about 3-4 episodes into season 2 and was like,
they killed Ned.
They really killed that nigga, B.
You know what though? You could tell they killed him because eventually they just started walking around like Ned just didn't even exist. Like, if you binge watch this shit, you realize that like by like season fucking 3 or 4, you like, wait, who? Ned? Oh yeah, the nigga that died season 1. Like, life goes on real fucking fast on this show, bro. This shit is like real life for real, bro. You have your little crown. There's you get funeral. A couple motherfuckers, goddamn, you know, like wish some well words on you, bury you in the fucking ground.
Go out a little liquor.
We're gonna go eat that.
Right.
We're gonna go eat. That's what life essentially is.
Arya had to get a motherfucking haircut while her daddy head was still getting cleaned up. You know what I mean? Like that nigga gave her a fade right there. Like, here, boy. Like, look, you know what I'm saying? Get you right real quick, lined up.
Tape it up real good.
Send the ass on the way.
So let's say you only get a week of PTO.
That's it. Week PTO, nigga. Yep. Oh, yeah, that bereavement ain't that long.
Back at it.
Back at it, right?
I ain't gonna lie, man.
You start taking your regular PTO.
When you had the night to slap Sansa, dog, that was some wild shit to me, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you got a designated slapper. That's some crazy shit. What you think?
Yeah, nigga was happy to lay them hands on her too. Hell yeah, I've been waiting to slap a bitch today.
Right, that's what it looked like, didn't it?
I ain't slapped me a bitch since yesterday.
That's really what it looked like, man. And then he did it with the gloves on.
Man,
that goes to show you that a person in that position of power can do whatever the fuck you want to, which also begs the question of why in the fuck would Rob just not take one of the Frey women and have all the other women he wants for the free, essentially,
man.
For the free, like, bruh.
Them niggas still honorable, man. Them niggas
if we being real, I mean, Rob really just could smash and dash. Like, the nigga was out there on some honorable shit. Like, yeah, I done smashed her, so I got to marry her now.
Don't warp too far. Don't warp too far. Don't warp, because we try to hold it.
Man. Like, come on,
but I mean, like, we were at the proposal.
For sure.
At the tender setup.
We could definitely do that.
I said, fuck them Frey hoes.
Boy,
I don't fuck with no Frey hoes, cuz. Hey, that nigga mama told him what he had to do for the bridge. That nigga Rob said, Frey.
That nigga, she said that nigga.
Hey, that nigga got up and hit that soldier boy. Nigga.
Say that nigga was gonna have to pop it for pimp.
Oh shit! All right, my bad, y'all. I'm back.
Nigga shit.
All the time.
That's what I'm here for. The light skinned this nigga here bringing all the nigga shit.
That's how it always be. You got it. There's always a Malcolm X out of the fucking crew.
Cause I got to prove my niggadry.
It's always a brother fucking ass.
I got to prove to you niggas I'm one.
All right, go ahead, CJ. What's the next fucking scene?
So shit, my bad. Next, these niggas
he did not have to love that hoe.
After that, man, what the fuck did happen next?
We found out Cersei was fucking her cousin Lancel.
Was that her cousin?
Boy, yeah, you nigga named that name, boy.
I thought that nigga was that nigga was her brother too.
That nigga name is Lancel, bro.
Man, listen, man.
That's what Jamie.
That's a squire.
That was a squire who's her first cousin.
Robert Baratheon.
Yeah, that's Uncle Kevin's son.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Uncle Kevin.
Cersei a wild motherfucker.
That's Kevin's boy.
Kevin boy. You know?
Cersei got time for dick whenever.
Oh, that's one thing she gonna make time for. She gonna make time for
it's like, you know what I'm saying? I know Jamie captured and whatnot, but let me get me some dick while I can, you know what I mean, real quick, and then we'll worry about that shit.
But Lancelot here, that nigga built like a 12-year-old boy. That nigga so little.
Bruh,
did y'all not, that nigga was sitting in that
I
chair.
was just like, ew, when he turned around and walked away, I was like,
yo, little bony.
And the crazy thing is, when we next see him after this series of events, motherfucker bulked up. Motherfucker was eating goddamn, was eating eggs and steak.
Damn, nigga, you done grew up out there, bitch. Lancel.
Lancel.
It's the fact that.
Oh, man.
And she was like, shut the fuck up.
Hey, she told that nigga, man, get your little ass back in the bed.
Right, exactly. Shut your ass up.
Get your little baby ass in the bed. You better get your crybaby ass in that back seat. Walk home. Or get your ass beat.
Not the wood. Stacy.
Goddamn Stacy ass, boy.
Man.
The sissiest cousin fucker. Wow.
Jesus. Hey,
Jesus.
Robert let the family in his house and the family fucked his wife.
And the family fucked his wife.
Oh my God. That's gold.
Yo. That's what he should have fucking went to war over. Shit. Fuck Rhaegar.
Like, nigga, we see who really took your bitch.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Man, Bobby B was so deep in the trenches in them streets, he didn't give a fuck about nothing going on at home. As we will see the results of his moving and shaking next season.
Facts.
He was here for a good time, not a long time. I miss my nigga Bobby, man. I miss my nigga Bobby B, bro.
That nigga really was a real nigga, man. He was just on some nigga shit. He was
here for a good.
It was like if one of us became king.
Essentially. Yeah, that's what essentially. Right. That's what essentially be my fucking trajectory. I would go to the small council meetings at first. You know, niggas be like, "Oh yeah, man, what y'all talking about? Oh, okay, that's what's up."
Let me know what y'all
shit kind of boring. Y'all got some things around this
motherfucker. Yeah, I'm not participating in that.
So the next thing that happened, y'all, is Cat goes and talks to Jamie Lannister as he's a prisoner of war at their camp, at the start camp.
Beginning of the end.
And in doing so, she take a big ass rock. God damn, y'all.
What happened?
My sister called me.
I know when that hotline.
That time with my sister.
Okay.
So
like before was whatchamacallit? It was Craig Jr.
No, it's been 3 different people. I guess that's what happened when the episode is on Monday instead of Sunday. Goddamn.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
You ain't supposed to do that shit on Monday, nigga. Fuck your podcast.
So, fuck. Jamie is getting talked to by Cat or whatever. And she take a big ass rock up there. And I go upside your motherfucking head with this motherfucker. And she actually does go upside his head a little bit. With it as she begins to have a conversation. He's patronizing her, obviously. And they begin to have a conversation. And that's when Jamie admits that he did push Bran.
My boy was like, that's why I pushed your son, bitch.
Right. play the him up beat with that shit.
Fact. Hey, she asked that nigga why. That nigga said, I hoped it would kill him.
Yeah. and then she was like, well, you know, like she was like,
asshole.
Why you hoped it would kill him? And nigga didn't touch that part.
Man.
Yeah, but she knew. I mean, shit. You know, like, why are you asking rhetorical questions, motherfucker? You know. Shit. Yeah, like, you know exactly why the fuck I pushed that little nigga. So, you know, when you gotta talk to for so long. But you can tell though, when she left, he felt it's almost like he felt bad about all the shit that was happening to the Starks.
Yep. Like immediately.
God damn, she over here this and that, and Ned just died. Like, bro, these motherfuckers are going through it. Y'all niggas are losing.
Right.
Y'all niggas are losing. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure he felt a way about his own mortality, because it's like, all right, well, that nigga dead. Well, I ain't got too much longer on this earth anyway. So
yeah.
You know.
And it's like the conversation that Tywin was having with him when we originally see Tywin. Like, nigga, you care about what people think about you, and your whole thing is you're trying to make people think you don't care about that shit, when in actuality, this is the shit that drives you, my nigga.
Yep.
So like you see it, like you said, like as soon as Cat leave, you see a lot of that shit in his face. And I think they did that, of course, intentionally trying to capture, showing like that's like the beginning of you seeing that character arc for Jamie.
Exactly. But you see that humanity in Jamie, right? Something that we'd never really seen before. It's that real side of Jamie, right? Because you're right, he masked a lot of who he really is behind this whole fucking bravado and him throwing insults and shit like that.
Hey, question, now that I'm thinking about it, Cat with that fucking rock, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but did Cat fuck up? Is that the same rock from later? Did Cat leave that goddamn rock in there and Jamie? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Is that the same fucking rock?
I didn't think about that.
Cause nigga ain't just had rocks laying around in this. You feel me? So what's coming on down the road. I'm like,
yeah, of course.
I'm like, damn, did Cat drop the ball or did she drop the rock?
But then they moved their camp though. But like, so were they in the same place? Or I thought
they might. Yeah, you think they moved? Like,
no. You know what though? They didn't. They didn't move it until after that incident, and then because you remember
because then niggas tried to come. You know, they wanted to come kill.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I wonder did she lead it? I wonder was that rock there from that? I might have to go back and watch all that shit and pay a little bit more attention.
That's a good fucking question. I didn't think about that. Anyway, like we can't talk about that shit too much.
Yeah.
We'll
catch up down the road. CJ, you muted, bro.
Nah, like TK, go ahead.
My bad, my fault.
No, you good. Yeah.
Go ahead.
What was you saying, CJ? You
I was just saying, why did she throw the goddamn rock down? That's all.
Facts.
We good.
She threw the goddamn rock down.
Nothing major, man. That's all I was asking.
Nigga shit. Lazy ass. Goddamn, put the goddamn rock back where you got it from.
Saying where you got it from.
But like my thing is that if she would have killed him, what would have happened, y'all think?
Right. Like what would have come of that?
Well, she didn't have no leverage. She wouldn't have had no leverage then. I mean,
well, she ended up having no fucking leverage anyway, because but
at least she thought you know what I'm saying? She thought.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she was going around town like she did. Yeah,
like, you know, like I at least got something. You know what I'm saying? I'm leaving here with something. From around
the way.
Leaving something. Leaving here with something.
I saw that plate. I said, I'm leaving here with something.
So that was that. That was that.
Y'all niggas wild, man.
Hey, whoa. Time out on the play. I'm sorry. I know I'm super late, y'all, and I got here late. Why does that nigga name get head like me?
I'm just saying, man. Like, look.
Get head like, yo.
Why does nigga's name get head like Oh no! Technically, did Ned get head? Like almost as like he didn't get no head.
You know what I'm saying? Well, no head.
That's
like
worse
that.
than my shit, bro.
Hey,
nigga, one up
Listen,
me.
man.
What the fuck you one up me, bro? I gotta think about it. I gotta think about some shit.
I came on the show with that.
Oh, you came on the show? I didn't even fucking notice.
Oh my god, man!
Honestly, if Ned would have took Littlefinger up on his offer early in the season and when he got some head, they all probably still be alive.
Hey,
Maybe
it was off the top like Ned. I don't know.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
top like Ned.
Out the top of the dome.
that boy Ned, boy.
Oh boy.
Spit hot
Ned said
fire.
he was about none of that, man. Ned said he was about his honor, boy.
Dumbass.
And
Right until he betrayed his honor, which got him fucking killed, essentially.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts, you fucking dumbass.
All right.
This is when you chose to betray your honor instead
Exactly.
of just killing Cersei in the fucking garden.
Yep.
Should just murk Cersei.
So
Fucking choke that hoe.
Walk the fuck away and
I
limp
guess we
away.
make it-
goddamn.
Limp your punk ass off.
Shit.
Nigga,
You
get
know-
your punk ass out of here.
when the little war happens and shit, and Tyrion got knocked the fuck out and woke up wounded, didn't it seem like Tywin respected him a little bit more?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, oh, nigga, you actually
You was
fought.
actually out here in battle.
And so he
Also,
told-
Tywin's fucking jersey was clean as goddamn Dion.
I was gonna say
shit
that.
nigga ain't
I was
touched
gonna
not
say
one.
that. He came through clean in the mud. I was like, okay, Tywin.
That nigga
Tywin got
Tywin
that
ain't did nothing but sit that horse.
that nigga Tywin
Tywin-
said, not tomorrow,
That nigga
not yesterday, but now.
That nigga ain't did nothing but sit on a fucking horse.
But he was clean. Though.
Audacious nigga shit. Oh my god. That nigga brought him in like, what y'all broke niggas doing?
Man, who that nigga
Rolled
on
up
that?
on that damn what y'all broke niggas doing?
Man.
Everybody all
I
fucking
think
dirty
maybe
and
he-
shit.
Oh, I think maybe he didn't really expect him to go out there, not knowing. He didn't know what really happened to Tyrion first of all. But I think he didn't expect for him to go out there and really get any action. And so I think that in combination with what he had already said about what was it, Ned, and using Ned like as a bargaining chip and what they should have done that they didn't do. I think that's what led to his decision, which is what happens next.
Yeah.
So he says, so they go to the war council in the tent. Tyrion walks in, and all of his fucking generals, including Kevin Lannister, is that of a mediocre person. I don't think he's stupid, but he's definitely not of Tywin's intellect or audaciousness. And so
White
he makes
Vaemon.
lessons. Right. And so he tells everybody to get the fuck out. And then he names Tyrion. And then he says, go over there and check your nephew on my authority.
Facts. Facts, because the nigga's over there fucking up.
Yeah.
Tyrion like,
Hey, really, it was funny. The time was on some, like, as much as I don't trust you or like your little ass, I don't trust to like that little fucker even less. So I need you to go over there and straighten that shit out. You Atlanta. Nigga basically was like, look, you a Lannister, you finna earn the name, my boy.
Exactly.
But he basically did tell him, hey, maybe I was wrong about your little ugly ass.
That little ugly ass, though.
Ugly ass little boy.
Right.
Ugly ass little boy. Golly. But
I mean, you know, he hate Tyrion. Tywin hates Tyrion, man, because he's still blaming for, you know, his wife died. So he gonna always hate that little
yeah,
baby,
because we did learn that, right? We learned that the reason that
which is the one chink in it. I keep going back to this. Because Tywin is one of my favorite characters on this show. I think top 5 characters, and as far as my favorite, but that's the one chink in his armor, and I still don't fucking get it. Like, I get it. They blame him for killing the wife, and there's probably some more shit to that you know, Tyrion conspiracies and shit like that I know.
Well, honestly, look, I don't feel like I don't know. This is my opinion. I don't feel like Tywin hates Tyrion because he killed his wife. I mean, even though he mentions that, of course, you who killed your mother when you came into the world. Okay, cool. I think this nigga just resents Tyrion. I think he resents this nigga more just for being a dwarf. Like, and Tyrion
on top of that, I think
reiterates that also. I think he just resents the nigga for being like, you don't live up to the lion. Like, you
right to the
I have to
bloodline.
give you my
like
last
as far as
name.
just genetics.
I have to honor you as family, but you ain't it, dog. Like, I don't fuck with you.
So he would have been less mad about him killing his wife if he was born a regular size.
Fact.
If he was
If
Jamie part 2.
If he was another Jamie, I don't even think that would have been a fucking like niggas wives dies in childbirth every day out here. We done see.
Yeah, that's
so,
which is fair, right? But like, I mean, after a while,
I think it's
right?
more Cersei. I think Cersei has that resentment for Tyrion because of their mother more
because
than
of the mother shit.
And I think they kind of play on that with a lot of the dialogue and throughout, not even just this season, like as it goes on. But I don't know. It just seemed more to me like Tywin just despised a little nigga because he a little nigga.
But Tywin, right? Like he knows how smart Tyrion is. Like that shit becomes obvious to him, and I think it even became obvious even before he named him Hand of the King. But especially when he named him Hand of the King, he realized that okay, well, he has like this propensity to learn about shit, to learn about battle strategy, and and he seems more than competent, and basically the most competent intellectually out of my fucking children.
Mm-hmm.
And for Tywin to be of that intellectual giant in this show, it just surprises me how that connection didn't at least bridge that relationship, despite Tyrion being a dwarf.
Pride, though. That's that.
It's just surprising to me, man, because Tywin.
But Tywin,
so
man,
logical.
It's all about that last name, that family, and for what Tyrion represents with that, even with that absorbent amount of fucking knowledge that he has from always reading and always staying in them books, you're still a dwarf. And like in that time and age, like it's like being a eunuch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, like it's almost like being in, like the Lannisters are essentially the poster child for Nazi Germany, right?
Facts.
And blonde hair, blue eyes,
yes,
that type of shit. And so Tywin, you're right, does have that Aryan race, sort of complex about him.
Yeah,
because even when further along down the series, when Miss Tyrell was talking to him about like boys playing together and shit like that, and blah blah, and Tywin, like he was like no nonsense about.
I ain't did none of that shit.
I ain't did none of that shit. What the fuck? So that shows you that like these little things that he just sees automatically as weakness, including Tyrion's propensity for the hoes, and so that's another weakness, right? That he just, even though he partakes in it, but still, he feels like that's a weakness, and he just wants to shut out all weaknesses, genetics included.
All right, players, we got to get over. We got to get. Oh,
go ahead.
Now, if you want to get one last thought in,
no, do you think?
Because I was gonna say we got to take it over to Khaleesi and them. We got to get over to Khaleesi and them, and talk that shit about them real quick, because at this point, Khaleesi wakes up, and that's when she discovered that she that her baby didn't survive the night. And the sorceress tells her what the baby looked like, right? Yeah. And she says the baby was scaled like a lizard with leather-like wings of a bat. She said, "I warned you that only death can pay for life." And Drogo is basically brain dead and paralyzed, essentially. He'll never be the same. So Khaleesi's deal with essentially she made a deal with the devil, and she lost her child, and she lost Drogo simultaneously. And this woman, the sorceress, really got a motherfucking smirk on her face the whole time. And Khaleesi says to her, like, why you do me like that? I saved you.
Right.
So talk to us about why she did do it like that.
Dog, I know I was supposed to laugh, and maybe my sense of humor is just fucked up. I don't know.
God.
but Khaleesi was like, yo, why you do that? And I stopped that nigga from raping you. And she was like, shit, you missed the other 3 niggas that
They
raped
missed
you.
the other 3.
Dog, I laughed so fucking hard, man.
Like I got raped 3 times. Shit, they got
like
raping bitches at 8 a.m. You got here at 12, bitch.
Like, dog, she was legit mad at her for missing the other 3 rapes, but like, and you know, my take on the old girl is like, fuck, man. By the time you get past 3, it don't really matter after that, because she basically brushed off like you ain't do shit.
But then, of course, there was, of course, a lot more that went into that shit. You know, she spoke on the fact that, you know, they came in, they sacked the temple, they killed the boy that she had just healed from a fever. 3 months passed, they killed a priest, you know, desecrated the temple, all that shit. She basically, what's the bitch name? Mirri Maz Duur, whatever her name is, the witch, goddammit.
Mirri Maz Duur.
Yeah, she was just that shit. She was really just on some petty revenge. Like, I don't care if I die, I'm gonna take as many of you motherfuckers with me as I can, starting with Khal Drogo and his son. Like, that's the head of the snake. This the new head of the snake. I'm gonna take these motherfuckers out right now. I don't care what happened to me. I think that's why she had a smirk on her face. Cause like, even when she was asking Jorah, like, you know what happened, like you said, she come in, she smirking. Yeah, you know, the little nigga had the scales. He was a little bad. I touched him. The fucking skin fell off his bones. Little nigga was ugly, man. That nigga was dead. He was dead. And she was like, I don't give a fuck. And like you said, right. Khaleesi is really on some like, how the fuck could you do this shit? And she like, I saved your life. You know what I'm saying? And she like, take a look at your call. You see what life is worth when you take everything else the fuck away. Yep. And that's what she was on. That's what I did to you. I've taken everything from you. Now you have to live with this shit that you had taken away from you.
Right. Because, I mean, and I think it highlights, well, Celestial, do you want to jump in? I was just going to say, I think it highlights Khaleesi's naivete at that point. Like,
of course.
You know what I mean? Like, you literally, maybe in your mind, you just saved somebody from whatever. But, like, literally, they was just dragging her. Like, just dragging her and her whole city. And they were doing it for you. Technically. You know what I mean? Like they were doing it.
Your husband just made this whole rant about how we was gonna do all this shit in your name.
Yeah.
In your son's name. And now you out here on some martyr shit. You don't want it happening.
Right. And so I mean, like, you know, I actually had forgotten that the lady had double crossed Khaleesi.
Fuck like, your husband, fuck your baby,
the horse, baby,
fuck the horse you rode in.
I forgot that she had done it.
Daddy.
Yeah,
but I kept thinking to myself, like, if I was that woman, I'd fuck Khal Drogo up. You know what I mean? Like,
well, like, but it's the Khalasar, man. Like, it's that entire. I mean, like that. Them some motherfucking, like, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure they get on a lot of people's nerves. I mean, they around there killing, raping, and just taking over cities, of course, for resource. And now they're really doubling down on it because they're trying to get, you know, resources in order to sail across to the to Westeros. And so, you know, with that, you know, that Jorah explained, like, listen, all this shit costs money. Like, these motherfuckers are raping, pillaging, and stealing shit in order for you to get over there to get the fucking Iron Throne, you know. And so, but these motherfuckers are already like just naturally these fucking, like, I mean, it's just these motherfuckers just pillage, man. Mm-hmm. And you know, so fuck them. In a sense, I don't blame people. I don't blame people for trying to get rid of them motherfuckers.
Right.
Yeah. I don't blame them. Include Khal Drogo, who was the head snake. You're right.
Thanks. They had it's almost like what you were talking about with Joffrey, getting rid of Ned. Like,
yeah,
get that nigga up out of here.
Exactly. Get that nigga up out of here. Yep. Exactly.
Y'all wild, man. These niggas talking about first off, fuck your bitch and the click your claim.
Hey boy, fucking Khalasar come around. That's like one.
What's the roast when we ride?
That's like Debo coming, nigga. Nigga Debo, nigga Khalasar, nigga. They coming.
Took your
like
what
you should have just took mine in here.
Like what the fuck Chris Rock say? There's black people and there's niggas. And niggas got to go.
No threat equal, no limit soldiers. Man, y'all wow.
Oh my god. So
they'll shoot up the movie theater.
One, you know, like one thing the witch said, she was like the stag. She was like, basically, that stallion ain't finna mount shit.
Right. Goddamn thing.
I got rid of both of them.
Now he
and
now
then
he
she laughed
ready
about it.
Man.
Yeah, the little smirk on her face was.
She was happy with her work. She was so pleased with herself.
Khaleesi should have had her a designated slapper for that shit.
Dany told her, she was like, "All right, bitch, I see how you are. I'm gonna burn your ass alive and watch you scream." And old girl's
she said,
like,
"I'm not gonna scream."
And old girl's like, "I bet you I don't."
I bet you will, bitch.
Bitch, you will. Once that fire starts seeping into them bones, that's it, bro.
So we,
the girl sat out there and tried to sing. Them nose got high.
We had that scene going on, and then it swaps over. It swaps over to Grandmeister Pazel. He's sitting in the room with the whole he rambling and shit, and
with
carrying on with Roz, and she like, you know what, fuck this. Let me wipe my snatch and get on up out of here. And soon as she walked out the door, my boy popped up, started doing burpees, all kind of shit.
Myself.
That nigga.
my boy started talking all regular and shit. And then
there's a lot to unpack in that statement, TK. Wait.
Yeah, run it back, because the shit he was talking about.
The nigga was just rambling.
Nigga said she got up and wiped her snatch.
That nigga really did say that. He said that.
Wait.
I was like, my goodness.
I'm trying to tell y'all niggas, we are getting canceled.
That was just so graphic.
That is graphic.
She took a whole bath.
Like George R. Martin, bro. You know what? I can tell he's been reading the books.
Yeah, then he say, "Nigga, get up and start doing burpees and shit."
I can tell TK been reading the books.
Paisel got up and got to stretching them hips.
Right, that nigga snatched this. Started walking all regular shit.
But what killed me though, dog? When he got dressed, they came to the door and knocked on the door. And soon
what that boy do, TK?
Hit him with that old shit, that cough.
But you know what though?
Hey, that boy slumped so quick.
Yo, but that's that same shit, and we gotta dissect this movie, man. But Django, that's Steven from Django right there, right? It's the same shit. Facts. You play that role, bro, with this unassuming motherfucker, but he's the main one, just carrying on, dog.
Yep,
carrying on, and people just take that fucking that seemingly old disabled motherfucker, just and he can stand up upright.
Old man,
exactly, because nobody suspects the old man of doing shit. $40.
Usual suspects, just like Kaiser Soze.
It's $40, ain't it, fam?
So
like fucking Ashley say it's gonna cost them 80, man. Like, at least.
So this will be a good place to kind of bring it all to a close. We gonna go back to the funeral pyre, and this episode 10 is where this motherfucker took a turn. We finally got to see what I want to see, but they burning.
Hey, first time watching. Did y'all expect that shit at the end? Like, were y'all thinking like what that was finna yield that result?
No.
Until it happened. Yeah.
No, I had no idea.
Hell no,
nigga. I stood up and went to kicking shit over like Steve Harvey when he played that Earth, Wind, and Fire on Kings of Comedy. Bitch, stand the fuck up.
I tell you this, man. I had forgot about the fan. I kind of have, again, man. When you binge watching some shit, man, you forget a lot of shit. Like, it's definitely different
because you're just going through, like, you just literally.
I forgot about the by the time I got to episode 10, I forgot about the fantastical aspects of the show. From the very first scene, like, of season 1, episode 1. So, like, while the show was entertaining as it was, I didn't even consider the fantasy at that point.
Yeah.
that it could be, you know, something other than.
And the show writers, they left out a fucking shit ton of fantasy. Like, they took out so much of the magic and the lore of the fucking Game of Thrones kingdom from the books
budget, my boy.
Man, especially early on. Like, you can, as the seasons go on, you're gonna see that budget grow. Like, you really gonna see,
even with the battle scenes. We were talking about the battle scenes. They skipped over fucking 2 battles.
The scenes get bigger. You're gonna see the fucking background, all that shit, the buildings, the structures, all that shit. You're like, yeah, you niggas' budget done went up now. Motherfuckers watching this shit, huh?
Yep. And you know what though? You know it's funny. One of the things that I didn't fucking notice during these fucking but during this rewatch I did, when Dany first stepped in the fire and fucking Mirri Maz Duur was fucking screaming, a lot of motherfuckers are like, fuck this shit.
Right.
Like, bro, this shit is too much for me. Yep. Like, when she was screaming, it was a lot of people that left. And
cause they probably thought Khaleesi was finna die in there too. They probably thought she was walking to her. Even Jorah was like, "Nah, I can't let you do it," because he thought she was walking to her death.
Right, exactly. Which is, I mean, like, just a lot of symbolism to Jesus and just, you know, any kind of prophet or religious figure. And you know, like, except, you know, like, I don't think any religious figures, you know, walked out of a fire butt ass naked. But you know, Khaleesi
is kind of like whitehead Jesus.
Oh yeah, she is. Yeah, like, this is white savior. Yeah, she has this white savior complex, which people
whitehead Jesus with dragons.
I mean, that was a pretty fucking amazing scene though. Like the whole thing of it, and like obviously you see Jorah, he like, I ain't fixing to let you do this to yourself, Khaleesi. You know what I mean? Sit your ass down somewhere. Quit fucking around.
On that scene, you know.
Why you keep reverting to the Mac, man?
It's hard. It's hard. When you got this pimping in you, man, it's hard to shake. You know what I'm saying?
We know, nigga. We know from
it's hard, baby.
Earlier tonight.
It's hard, baby.
So she came out of the fire, you know, with the dragons and shit, and you know, people start kneeling. I want y'all to go back and look at Jorah, dog. When she came out naked, my boy was like,
man, I tear that ass up.
Yeah. You could see it in his eyes. He was like, damn, she kind of thick. She dingy, but
it's like, all right, I see you.
That nigga Jorah said, I sop her ass up with a bowl of brown and some crystal. Nigga.
I ain't gonna lie to you, nigga. If I see 3 dragons on a motherfucker, I ain't thinking about titties at that moment. Like, I mean, I might think about titties a little bit, but
hey, that nigga
you ain't got a lot of us. You ain't got a lot of us.
Like, this motherfucker got 3 dragons on her and titties.
You got a lot of
so
us.
Like,
and
I mean, like I'm thinking first and foremost.
Speaking of fucking dragons, my nigga Drogo was with the shit from jump. Like, that nigga came out the fucking egg on some.
Nigga, fuck them other niggas.
I burn this shit up.
Down for my niggas. I'm talking about they could have played that shit. Like, if you would have switched the music to that on that part, it would have sounded perfect.
Facts.
Yeah. And nigga Drogo had ADD from the get-go, huh?
ADHD. I'm killing niggas.
Came out wanting to fuck shit up.
Man, from jump, I will eat all you niggas.
Gotta throw this comment on there.
Joe wanted to be that dragon.
Oh, Joe we got a target, bro.
Wanted to be that dragon on her target.
I gotta get some shirts made. I gotta start getting paid off target.
Well, I mean, that's now we cancel. I mean, bro, this show was probably one of our most canceled.
I got to go back and watch the first hour and see what you niggas was on.
Oh yeah, it's a doozy.
Oh shit! We the half up too. So
what can we do to ensure we get kicked off the air?
Man, you niggas done got kicked off without me, and I ain't contribute.
So it's a few things we need to do to like wrap up season 1. Like we need to talk about where Arya's headed. Where just like tie up those loose ends, and then maybe the conversation with Varys and Littlefinger, because I know Leslie and Valerian like to talk about those a little bit.
Yeah, Arya punk ass, she headed back up to the north.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, we don't know exactly where. We just know that she is with one of the men of the Night's Watch, the one that Ned hollered Baelor to. So he's gathering her up and whoever else he can get from the dungeons, and they headed back towards the wall.
So he was gathering up all the bastards, he said. And
No.
Did he? Because Gendry was headed there too, wasn't he? Wherever they were going.
Yeah, they gathered up.
Orphans probably in bastards, I guess.
Yeah, but
See,
I think
I was thinking that
they got
headed
the
to the
folks
black.
from the dungeon too, because when he like before he left, that he told him he was coming to King's Landing to look in the dungeons for men, whatever that could contribute to the Night's Watch. Because even of course when they get down the line, you see some of that when they're traveling.
Right, I thought they were headed to the black. You know what I mean, like to the wall.
Yeah, right north.
And so he probably was trying to get her to at least to John.
Facts.
Yeah,
just the fuck out of King's Landing as far north as they can get her.
Whole time, by the time if they ever make it to the wall, which I don't know if they did or didn't, John and them gone. Because them
right, but right. Okay, so John, you're right. Like, and John is going north of the wall.
They going even further.
Lord Commander Mormont makes that speech, that dope ass speech. Our motherfuckers over here dealing with some bullshit. We don't give a fuck about this little
don't do that shit.
Fight between mortals. We're about to get down to the bottom of this shit of what's beyond the wall. But more importantly, I think that the end of season 10, especially with not only that scene, Robb being named King of the North, it kind of provided hope after the death of Ned Stark. And it was one of those episodes where, so you got people like Arya, you want to see where she goes. You got Robb Stark, kind of this main protagonist now and kind of taking the mantle of his father. And then you got John and his own adventures. And so you have people who you are rooting for still doing shit that is honorable in a sense, or something that is above them. And so, you have that hope going into season 2, that, like that shit will be okay. Yeah. We need 3 huts in the cut.
that's where all the motherfuckers did it. Yeah. And Arya has to pretend to be a boy. And we know how dangerous his road is for women. After season 1. So
so that's it.
So yeah, we gonna get to see how crazy shit get. Joffrey's in the seat now, and his man been letting him run wild as fuck. So season 2, episode 1 and 2 be up next.
Peak Tyrion, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, season 2 gonna be fun, man.
Yeah. We got season 2 on deck. I actually watched the first 2, so I'm looking forward to talking about it. But
that nigga reading ahead.
It was a good first season. And we ready to get into it. So
facts.
CJ, you wanna you need to say closes out?
Man, look, we just enjoy y'all fucking with us the way that y'all do and rocking with us for rewatch them Thrones, because that's pretty fucking significant that y'all are actually watching this with us and watching us break it down after the fact. Thank y'all for sticking around for 2 hours, man. If you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, please do that, and please also follow Watch Them Thrones on Instagram as well as Black with No Chaser. And I guess we'll be back in 2 weeks, Tyrus. Is that right?
Yeah.
Shit, we'll be back in 2 weeks. I think we might even have some surprises coming down the pipe soon.
Yep.
It's gonna get real. Hey, nigga, tell your friends it's gonna get hot in season 2. We can't reveal too much, but it's gonna get hot in season 2. We're getting bigger and better.
You feel me?
Even hotter than it was tonight.
Well, I got to go, man. Let me go watch the shit and see what the fuck y'all was on.
Lord have mercy. Hey man, say man.
But yeah, we got some things coming. We real excited about, and we hope y'all stick around and bring more people with you. So
for sure, man.
On behalf of Get Head Like Ned, CJ Lawrence, Celestial, aka Bing Goonie, Carlton Wide, Mr. Valerian, the light skinned dread,
aka the original Targussy.
The original Targussy. Leslie Macklemore, King of the Takeaways, and the most disrespectful name caption of the evening. We appreciate y'all.
Shout out to MLK, man. Without him, I couldn't have done that. So
man, golly.
He died for you to be disrespectful.
Well, he died. I mean, I'm just saying.
Y'all seen the video of the little girl saying?
It's just like the little girl said, "Who died?"
He died for our sins. Her mama gonna try to cut the shit out fast. No, leave that shit out.
She got a video on. Martin Luther the King.
He died for our sins.
Would you niggas please be quiet?
So let's check your DMs.
Anyway, on behalf of all of us,
I gotta get on the flight early in the morning.
On behalf of all of us, we thank y'all. And to that, I say, how I get out this motherfucker?
How do you get out?
How do I leave this motherfucker?
Peace, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.